Welcome to a new tutorial on the new Citadel paint range. So this is the first of many, hopefully, tutorials showing you the new GW range. So what did I pick? Well, for no real good reason, I picked the Skaven Doomflayer. So I haven't memorized all of the paints yet, but I will post them on my blog. So the description below, there will be a link to the post. So if you're one of the first people seeing this, it probably won't be there. But if you're seeing this, check the description, check out my blog. The link there will be directly to the listing of paints. So what did I do? Well, I used a little bit of every one of the GW metallic paints. Those ones were the ones I was most interested in to see how they would turn out with the various washes and different sort of effects here. So let's take a look at how I moved through this. So the first thing I did was I painted on base coats. So this is halfway through. I haven't done any base coats here. I've done the again, I don't remember all the names of the paints, but they will be in there. But the equivalent of Tolaran flesh on the rat's tail, the equivalent of scorched brown on the face or the hair. That's lead belcher, which is the old bolt gun. I forgot to wash the feet, but that's already been washed with Newland oil. I believe this is Screaming Bell bronze or something like that. And I used Steel Legion brown for the wood there. It's kind of like Khemri brown from the old range. So that's just starting out. I've got some metal there. So I did gold here, copper here, brass here, which is like this is like the tin bits one, and then this is lead belcher, which is the equivalent of bolt gun or steel. So I tried a little bit of all the metallics and was very happy with how they turned out actually. So there's no issue with the metallics as far as I'm concerned, the way I paint. So they behave very similar to the old range. Whereas Reaper ones, I don't really like how they work. They end up being a little gummy for some reason. But these behave similarly, so that's all that I was really caring about. So I've got my washes on these metallics here. This is that's not the Mephiston, that's the corn red, I believe it is. So I basically followed the color range for the bloodthirsters, for the blood letters. So there's kind of two reds in the base range, and so one is a bright red, the other one is this, which is kind of like the scab red in the old range. And just following all of the bases, shades, and layers that they suggest. So every base has at least two layers that correspond to it, so they're the same sort of tone, but then they have different, same tint but different tones, or I think I'm getting that right. Anyways, there's the base one is like the dark, and then you have two highlights for it. For the gray, there's an extra highlight, and for some of the like black, for example, you can do a like a blue black or a brown black or just a pure gray black. So there's kind of extra ones that go with the Abaddon black, which is the equivalent of Chaos black. Anyways, did the warpstone type stuff there as well. Wanted to try all that out. And so I did the flesh wash on all this stuff here, and I've started to highlight some of that fur. So again, just using the suggested ones. I forget exactly which one that is, but that'll be in that blog post I promised. Okay, so I've got some of the highlights going on these tails. Those are always a bit of a pain. But that's exactly the same as the general flesh. I think it's Bugman's flesh that starts it off, and it works its way up from there. And working on those highlights there. Missed a spot for now. And I kind of like how that looks, that really dark with the high contrast highlights there. I think that's one of the things I'm looking forward to with this new range is getting sort of the GW look of extreme contrast. And I know some people don't like it because it looks cartoony, but that's actually what I aim for when I'm going for things. So this is with the sort of a pinkish red, because it's a deeper red, not a bright red, and that'll get some tints there. So this is using the red glaze, and you can see how much that brightened it up. And I end up doing 2 coats of it because I really liked how that looked. So it brightened it up quite nicely. So now I'm highlighting up these warp stones here and doing all the same on all the green bits. So there's little stones there. There's another one over here. And then I assembled it once I'd done some of the stuff inside there, and I'm getting ready to highlight all of this stuff here. So I've done all my washes, done most of the details on the rats, and I just have to do the big areas on that. So all I'm doing here is I'm painting on the next layers that go with that base coat, and kind of avoiding all the deeper areas with the next one, and the final one is just going to be kind of edge highlighting. And of course this is difficult to see, but you can kind of see some of the line highlighting I've done around here, but obviously the glare on metallics blows some of that out for this camera. And I've done some of the gold on here, so just trying out how the gold does. There's no good reason why that should be gold. And using some of the silver metallics on those areas there. And then the other thing I wanted to do is I wanted to use a bit of the Veragus or Veridus, whatever, the oxidization of copper sort of a look on here. And so this is just with the, if I remember it correctly, I think it's Thunderhawk turquoise, and whatever the other one is. Again, it'd be in the thing. So it's similar to the Reaper Deep Ocean paints that I've used. If you're using the old GW range, you'd have to mix one, it's Hawk Turquoise and Dark Angels Green. But this went on nicely. I just watered it right down and kind of painted it on like a wash. I think it looks better in person than it does in some of these pictures, but because it probably should have been blended a bit more or over a wider area. But it looks quite nice, I think, on here. This is just a bit of a different kind of a surface. So there you can see that's the 2 layers. So I did the one where it's kind of larger, and then the lighter color I did right in the edge there. And you can see how that kind of turns out all around there. Again, I don't know how realistic it looks, but I think it'll look nice on the tabletop. And there we are, all done. So this painted up reasonably quickly. I've been using the different, the Reaper sort of layered approach for quite a while now, and I really like the idea of having set colors with highlights already in bottles ready to go. I know some people don't like that concept, but I find that it helps painting a ton. And actually painting one of the models with all the range really helped figure out, okay, so how does this actually work? Because it wasn't apparent to me, and maybe it would be to everybody else, maybe a little brighter than I am, that the bases have at least 2 corresponding layers, and there's also a wash that goes with every one of them. So it's meant to kind of be a matched set, and it probably would have been better if GW had laid it out on their site a bit more like that, you know, when you're buying them. But if you look at the numbers, if you line everything up by number, they're all in order. So you have your first red, it goes with your first 2 red layers, your next red goes with your next 2 red layers, and all that. So if you're still not sure about it, maybe check out your GW, try them out. I like it. I've got the whole set now, and this was the first model using those exclusively. And apart from trying to memorize all of the names, which I'm sure will come over time, I found it to be quite enjoyable. Oh, the other thing I don't like is those bottles that don't stay open on their own, but otherwise, quite nice. Let me know if you have any questions or comments, and we shall see you next time.